and welcome back to my channel. This is Didsbury Art Studio and I'm Sally, and in today's video I'm going to be combining some paper and also textiles and also stitch and throwing it all together and doing some graffiti art. So shall we get straight into it? Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've got some fabric. Turn it up a little bit. You can see Squirt in the background over there. All right, yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm just using some papers, leftover papers from the printmaking that we've been doing, and I've got a piece of fabric here and I've just been cutting out some shapes. I'd quite like to combine the paper and the fabric and do some sort of sample piece with them all collaborated. So I was just going through some of the leftover bits from the project and I was just cutting out some of the shapes that I quite liked. And it's a very abstract piece, but it's actually quite satisfying using all your bits left over up. Like I did quite like that one, but it's becoming quite a small sort of piece to sew. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull it all together really. That one was quite nice too. And then I just cut out that one because I thought that was quite cool, but I tell you what, I think that I'm happy enough at the minute with this piece that I've just been putting together. I can always add some extra bits as I go along. So this bit here is fabric. This bit here is fabric, and then the other little bits are paper and card. That bit's paper as well. So I'm thinking that I will just sew all of these together and then work into it with stitch. In fact, what I'm going to do first is just glue all the bits down. I have glued everything down and now we can just head on over to the sewing machine. So I'm just going to use straight stitch and go around the shapes to begin with, just so that they're nice and secure. Okay, so everything's sewn down now. I'm not so keen on this bottom bit. That's gonna have to be worked into with some brighter threads, I think, to pull it up a bit because it's too dark a contrast with some of the lighter bits going on up here. But I think to link it all up together, I might take some of these diagonals and stripes over the whole piece just to pull it together a little bit. So there's quite a few gaps and I feel like it needs it. Okay, so this is what we've got. I've tried to pull it all together by using black thread and runner stitch, and I think it kind of links much better now. I want to go back in and add some brighter colours down here because I feel like this is very separate to this bit. Just a fun way of using up your scraps and trying to make another sample from it. So I'm going to continue to work into it, and just to say that obviously because it's paper and fabric, it's very difficult to get that trapped into an embroidery hoop with the shape and the size of it and everything, and also things will just break and crease. So I'm being really careful without using the embroidery hoop. You need to be really careful. Maybe get a large embroidery hoop and place the paper on top of a fabric background. I wouldn't necessarily recommend not using an embroidery hoop because it is a safety measure. I'm actually going to use a zigzag stitch because I want it to stand out a little bit more from the bottom. Okay, that's my little sample. It's got this funny little wing effect, but anyway, yeah, I've kind of used zigzag and I'm going to use some yellows and blues in there to sort of, I guess, just connect some of the designs that are going off up here. I've also done the same down here just to weight it out a little bit, balance it with the top and the bottom. But yeah, there's another little sample to add to the board. Right now, I've only got these 3 bits left from the printing. Everything else has been used up, which is great. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use some spray paints onto these, and I'm going to use some stencils again over the top on some of these. Got some letters and numbers there, and we've got some patterns that we can also pop on. So I need to get into the garden. I'm just going to have a little mess around with just preparing some fabric. I want to be able to do some stenciling over this fabric once it's dry. So I'm just literally going to play around. I'll probably put it on a time lapse, literally just messing around. I have got no plan for this except for I just want to use a paintbrush and a roller, and I just want to mess around with the surface. Using the colours straight from the tube. I haven't done any mixing except for on the fabric. It's quite a nice thick cotton that I've used, and it's got an imprint of some embroidered flowers on there, so it's got some surface texture. But I want to use that as a background for the stenciling. So I'm going in with I actually really like that blue, so let's go in with more. Going in with green. This is what we got done. This says agape. I used this kind of neon green, and then I did the chevron stencil over here, and I used some of these over there. Loving the layering. I think now, just to finish them off, I'd like to do some varnish with the brusho dyes over the top. I'm going to just take a bit of this and pour it onto So that's actually the last of the graffiti themed project, and I've got this board here as well. And just to say, like, this is very much the way that I have always presented ideas and samples when I am teaching. So we have got a number there of collages, but also some fabrics, and also a combination of fabric with paper. So hope you like, and we'll be moving on to some more fabric manipulation next. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, which was creating new fabrics with papers and varnish and brusho and stitch, the theme graffiti art. And if you're brand new around here, and please do hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and I shall see you in the very next video. Bye!